Then you had the third line of Henrique, Kapanen, and Brown, who only played 355 together because they eventually broke it up. But in their 355, the shot attempts were 8-3 for the Kings, and they got outscored 2-0. Adam Henrique had a very, very bad hockey game against the LA Kings. And the OT goal, AB, if you want to pull it up, this one was ugly. A couple of the goals against before that were ugly. Again, maybe put in like a bit of a bad spot. You kind of see he has to rush, or sorry, that's Nurse rushing onto the ice. Yeah, and here's Henrique. Gets walked. Like, again, just feet still, doesn't put in, it's not much of an effort, but much of a fight to get that puck. Like, get a piece of the guy at least, And I know it's tough because your feet are still and it's overtime and all of that. But, like, again, for him to just kind of get walked this easily on a night where he's already -3, ugly, ugly performance from Adam Henrique and the depth players.
So, I have a couple of thoughts on this. The first one is, should have only been -3 on the night because he made the pass to Ty Emberson to get that first goal going, then made a change. So -3, but -4 is a correct stat. Second point, if he's having such a bad game, why is he on the ice for the overtime? And there's no excuse for it. The Oilers have a lot of players who can skate significantly better than Adam Henrique. He'd already been out there for a while too. Because the reason Nurse rushed in is because Nuge did whatever he could to get a change, and Knobloch addressed that in his post game too. It was just like Nuge shouldn't have taken that change, even on Nurse. It wasn't really at fault for that either way. But like, why is he out there? And the other, like, I just think he did not play well at all. You should not be rewarded, I guess, with an overtime shift after you're already -3 in the game. He's a terrible skater for moments like this.
Yeah, he is. I do agree with you. I wouldn't have Adam Henrique on my overtime list. I would. Like, weird enough, I might even play a guy like Matthias Janmark because at least he can move, right? 100%. Like, he's got boots. But your first rotation through, if we're talking 2 forwards, you always go McDavid and Leon first.
Yep.
And then they pretty much always go Nuge and Hyman.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah. And then their third rotation through is usually Henrique and whoever. Sometimes I think it's Connor Brown. Maybe that second rotation, maybe you need to change it up a little bit and have 2 defensemen.
Yeah. Maybe put Kasperi Kapanen out there who can actually stay like the wind.
Yeah.
And had a goal in this game and had a really great opportunity towards the end of the second period. Like this one for me, it just didn't make a lot of sense at all. I think this is a bad decision.
Yeah. And I do, if you want me to try look at the other angle of it here and be like, okay, how can you justify this? I think there is something in a long season. Maybe Chris Knobloch looked at a guy like Adam Henrique and said, okay, he's had a tough night. I'm going to give him a chance to redeem himself, right? Like, good vet, all that stuff. Give him a shot.
I think you do that against the New York Islanders, not in a divisional game against the LA Kings. And on the road where you could win the game.
You know and I think, like, and I agree with you. I'm just trying to somewhat play devil's advocate for the whole thing. But the bottom line with Adam Henrique is he does things well for the Oilers. But this first start to the season is not what you want from a guy who, one, you gave up a first-round pick at the deadline for last year, and 2, you signed to an extension, moved guys off the roster to keep him around, right?
Yeah. I've said this for a few weeks, and I'm starting to think it could work a bit better. Like, I would seriously consider looking at that 3rd C spot at the deadline. I don't know if it's it wouldn't be my priority number 1 again, but I would strongly consider making a change there.
Not quite halfway through the season. I understand that the first 36 games of the year lead you to that. And I also do know, like, looking at Adam Henrique, he's had some decent runs for the Oilers playing on the wing. Like, remember, he started last playoffs on the wing.
And then he got injured. That's the only reason he fell out of the spot.
And they never tried him, never gave him a look back there either.
No.
But you could also look, as much as I'll point to that, you could also look and say, during the Cup final, he was good as your 3C, and that third line was very good.
But it's good. It's good to have the depth of it too.
It is.
If he was your 4th line center,
I think you need a centerman.
I think so too. I think it's becoming a bit of a problem's a harsh word for it, but there's a solution out there. I just got to go find it for Chris.
And maybe I don't want to be that firm on it and saying you need one, but I think it's on my watch list. Like, everyone knows, priority number 1 is defenseman, top 4 right shot.
Yeah,
you need that. You know, you have to spend assets on that. Then I think it's maybe like with whatever you have left and whatever the market is, piece 2 is probably a centerman more than anything else.
Because the other part too is, if you go into next season and hypothetically you get this guy has 1 year left on his deal and Henrique's your 4C, even with the cap going up, $2 million isn't even that bad.
It's an expensive 4C, but anyways,
you'll find bargains along the way.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.